Hello, I'm John Padwick. I like to call myself Windsor's favourite landscaper. I'm very locally based to Windsor, and I'm here on one of my landscapes, which is pretty much a homage to Country Supplies. Everything I have here was supplied by Country Supplies. I've got some beautiful grey porcelain. I've got some Brett Aurora silver fleck block pavers, and we've got Vandermortal pavers for the front edge. We're in a conservation area, and the customers, they wanted it to look in keeping with the area, really say a statement about the house rather than just being a parking space. And indeed, you can park two cars on here, but the customer generally considers it their front garden, and they park the cars on the street rather than their beautiful drive. We've done a very similar drive next door, again using a lot of product and Country Supplies, really trying to pick up features of the house like the brickwork, where we put these beautiful Vandermortal bricks into the actual drive to really pick up some of the detail from the house. Again, just to stop it being a boring drive, it costs very little more to actually create something of beauty rather than just your standard drive. And I do jobs like this and people love it, as indeed Charles did next door, and he said to me, John, I want the same thing, you know, we'll change the colours and change it about a bit. We did that drive earlier this year, and indeed we did this drive, and they both got 5-star Google reviews. We've done this beautiful drive for Charles, the owner here. He said to me, John, absolutely love this. I might have a little project for you out the back. Here we are in the back garden. The customers loved the materials so much that we'd used. So here we've got Vandermortal septims, and the idea was to basically take the customer or take their guests on the journey through the garden. So we come through here, and then I love using this. This is a Country Supplies product, Piatra de Barge, which is just like a gorgeous creamy coloured porcelain, which I find washes off like exceptionally well. It really doesn't keep the dirt at all, unlike some of the creamy porcelains can get dirty. I've mixed them in with these Vandermortal vanilla bricks, again, which I love. I use a lot of the vanilla Vandermortals. Obviously they're a clay product, so they'll always keep their colour the next 100 years or forever, essentially. I find them just exceptionally good value for money. And here I've basically angled the garden. I'm just really not into straight lines, and I wanted the big picture I'm sitting here is looking towards our pergola, which I've sort of recreated, and basically again just taking the focus away from the house. So it's a lot more work angling it all and doing all this cutting, but that's what we do. So then, continuing the journey, we've got this solar panel which powers up the water feature, which is basically just a sump which we put in. So the idea of the journey, in the summer this actually goes really dark like a cave, so the idea is to beckon you through this sort of cavern. And what I've done here is I've used some old beams. I can still do the pull-ups. I've reused some old beams from a house where they were sort of doing some work across the road, and these are all old beams reused. The only new thing is one single post supplied by Country Supplies. So we then come out into a different area of the garden where I've reused some Victorian edging, completely re-turfed the lawn with Country Supplies turf, which the quality of it's just outstanding. I mean, we're talking late November, and it's so healthy. It's gone down 3 weeks ago. The customer loves it, and it's just green and rich, and it's all you'd want from a lawn. And then we've done the planting here and gone through, and then I've just tried to reuse features that the customer already had. A little stone trough for the birds to get some water. The Vandermortals sort of pull you through the garden and lead you along, particularly the way I've angled them this way, really. And then we get to this stone trough, which is an old Belfast sink. A champagne bucket, darling. It's just like they were saying, oh, we could plant it up. And I said, well, maybe plant up one side, but have the bottles of champagne with the ice in the other. And you can pull the plug, and then this all just drains through there. It's a big sort of drainage area, and just takes you all the way up to the patio, which they already had, but you know, we've cleaned it up, and I've even put, I sort of cut this out and put some Vandermortals in on edge underneath that. Obviously, Charles gave me a 5-star Google review for the front garden, and he's promised me a 5-star Google review for this. I'm very happy with it. The customer just loves it. It's just all that they wanted. At the end of the day, it's the customer satisfaction that I want, and that's what I aim to get. And it's all helped by Country Supplies being so proactive in helping me supply materials and giving me these beautiful Vandermortal bricks, which I just adore them. There we go. Thank you very much.